When threatened, we seek assistance from institutions established for that very purpose. In need, we turn to our family for help. We also look for support from communities from which we originate. We call on the state to help us, hoping it will come in one form or another. But what if there is no longer any state, only brutal oppression? When family bonds and entire communities are torn apart by war? When facing aggression, oppression, and totalitarianism, we appear to be left to our own devices. This is a story of courageous people who employed their professional skills to help others in dreadful times. Of people who were able to use trust and professional know-how gained in peacetime to rescue others from certain death when the war came. Righteous diplomacy. During the Second World War, many brave people risked their lives to resist the German occupiers. Those from rural areas utilized their unique knowledge of local forests and mountains for guerrilla warfare. Skilled workers sabotaged factory operations, salesmen provided intelligence, street performers lifted spirits, and youngsters covered walls with call-to-arms slogans. Yet this is a story of diplomats who saved lives through their unique combination of knowledge, connections, and courage. Meet Chiune Sugihara, the Japanese consul in Kaunas, then capital of Lithuania, which lay in the Soviet sphere of influence. The USSR began its occupation of Lithuania in mid-June 1940. It is 1940, and Jews from German-occupied Poland fleeing persecution reached the city. Estera and Michał Weyland, with their children Marcel, Halina and Maryla, fled Łódź as the Germans invaded. As Polish patriots, they rejected Soviet citizenship after the Russians took control of Kaunas. Judyta, Jakub and little Nina Vertans came from Warsaw. They managed to join their family in Vilnius just before the war broke out. As many as 11 Vertanses of different ages found themselves stuck in Kaunas without knowing what would happen next. Mr. Sugihara knows many like them, camping day and night by the Japanese consulate, desperate to flee from the power of the Soviets, back then closely cooperating with Hitler's Germany, as restrictions targeting Jews begin to intensify. He is about to make a choice. He will risk his life and career by using a loophole in the system to save families like the Vertanses and Weylands. Within several months, he will issue Japanese transit visas to thousands of Jews, thus allowing them to travel further east. Mr. Sugihara knows the Soviets and the bureaucratic hell that was the USSR. Stamped and signed, each document is nearly sacred in a totalitarian state that uses bureaucracy to terrorize its citizens. A signed piece of paper intimidates policemen. With it, travel suddenly becomes legal, together with a pass to travel to a better world. All totalitarian regimes base themselves upon a fear-driven bureaucracy. In a system where trust and common sense are suppressed, rank, uniform, and stamp on a piece of paper instill fear. Nazi Germany was exactly like that, and a group of Polish diplomats in Switzerland knew this very well. They are now known as the Bernese Group. Aleksander Ładoś, Stefan Ryniewicz, Konstanty Rokicki, Juliusz Król, and others worked with members of the Jewish community, mainly in Switzerland. Together they bought and forged Latin American passports for Jews in need. The network of their collaborators, schemes, and connections was so well hidden that we continue to uncover the scale of their operation and the number of people they saved. Nazi bureaucrats were outwitted. Their desks became flooded with papers of citizens of Paraguay, Honduras, Haiti, and Peru, yet with oddly familiar names. Mr. Sugihara issued thousands of life-saving documents and worked tirelessly before being transferred to Berlin. As his train was leaving Kaunas in September 1940, he threw the remainder of stamped blank visa forms to be filled with names of people in need out the window. His help turned out to be invaluable. Soon afterwards, the Germans invaded Lithuania and killed almost all Jews who lived there. Already after the war, Aleksander Ładoś met some of the Jews he rescued, still using passports forged by the Bernese group. Righteous diplomats used their wit and professional skills to cheat the monstrous bureaucratic system. They were brave professionals able to use the bureaucratic apparatus to save tens of thousands of lives. Yet it all could have gone wrong. All they could provide was a piece of paper with a photo and stamp. But it was the right piece of paper, with the right stamp and right signature, giving its bearer a chance of survival. Professionalism, empathy, and courage save lives. Let us not forget this.